Yo, what is going on? Welcome to the Robert Does Wrestling YouTube channel. If this is the first time here, make sure that you are subscribed. And let me put that thumbnail once again. Oh boy, I did enjoy my time putting this whole thumbnail together. Why? Because I have some of my three favorite wrestlers from the early 2000s, and I got good news about them and good rumors and speculation. So let's talk about the first rumor. This comes to us from Ringside. That is the David Pencer podcast. He is the one that do the announcement on Impact Wrestling sometimes, and he was best known for his work at World Championship Wrestling, WCW. And he asked Mr. Scott D'Amore about which WWE star he would like to sign to Impact Wrestling once all things, normalize, right? And he said that was a tough question, but he wants AJ Styles back. Why? Because he was the face of the company for a long ass time, and he can imagine himself the type of return, a hero's welcome that AJ Styles would receive if he returned back to Impact Wrestling. Let's say something as glorious as the prodigal son type of atmosphere. So that is something that I have talked about a couple of times. That the pillars of Impact Wrestling were three people: AJ, Jarrett, and Borach. However, people backstage change, and that is the nature of the beast. However, why does it matter with Impact Wrestling? Why it matter, most of the time with Impact Wrestling is because Impact Wrestling have problems with their identity, and that is not an attack on Impact Wrestling, but that is saying the truth. This is not an attack, but that's what it matters. However, every day is a new chance, a new beginning, if you think about it. The problems of the past belong to the past. Hopefully, the people who are running the place right now do not do the same type of deal. They are doing rookie mistakes still, but obviously it's easy for me to pick on holes people are doing and actually being there, being part of the creative process in Impact Wrestling. So as for my overall thoughts about AJ returning back home, that would be glorious, especially if John Gaburik is no longer there. Hopefully he's no longer there, but he was the one who didn't see AJ as who he was. He thought he could blackball him out of money, and AJ was loyal, but he was actually not a dumbass, and at the end of the day, money matters. So he did his thing. He did have his run on ROH, New Japan, and now on World Wrestling and Entertainment. So let's talk about the second piece of news before I talk to the chat and stuff like that. So this is great. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw this headline, I was marking out. If you have been a long time subscriber to this channel, on my first Q&A, one of the followers asked me, who will you want in Impact Wrestling? And one of the people that I mentioned was this guy, Teddy Hart, and also Brian Cage. I is Impact Wrestling watching my videos? Hopefully no, because but let's not get lost in space. Impact News: Teddy Hart returning to Impact Wrestling. So on April the 7th, 2018, Teddy Hart will make his return to Impact Wrestling in an event on New Orleans. That is gonna be, as far as I know, a dual type of deal with WrestleCon. That is, the convention that they do around WrestleMania, and the Impact Wrestling show that is gonna be happening under that umbrella of the area and the atmosphere and stuff like that. I am happy as hell to hear that. I know Teddy Hart has a reputation because he is one of those trouble child, but this man is fucking excellent, and he is a legit heavyweight. He's I think around 6 feet 220, something like that, which makes the whole thing even more crazy. This guy is insane. He is a beast. He is an athletic person, period. Next pay-per-view that Impact Wrestling is doing. What is the name on that pay-per-view? Redemption. Who can embody more of that concept that is redemption than Teddy Hart, who have his up and down within the wrestling business, but the people that have actually managed to see him have been impressed every single time since I ended up hearing about him in 2005, something like that. I was amazed, and I was a fan since that day. However, I have a type of, crazy idea, crazy thoughts that I'm putting like two and two together. It's like I say, like my conspiratorial type of thinking, because I have a backwards way of thinking, and it goes like this. Teddy Hart did not get along with CM Punk. They even have a problem back in NWA TNA. Also, there are rumors running around the internet, and I'm gonna repeat it, that Teddy Hart did not also get along with AJ. So when you have people you might not get along with, right? And those people happen to become successful, you cannot get that in your mind, and you're thinking, hey, I am better looking than them and as good as a performer as them, and there is that flame. If Teddy Hart can use that flame for the positive, for something constructive, to avoid the chaos in his life and walk the straight path, fix the chaos, and have discipline, we have a diamond in that guy. No joke, no, let's say, no exaggeration or anything like that. This guy is a world-class athlete. This guy is actually one of the legit guys in wrestling, and we got two of them, Brian Cage and him. If he could get his house in order, because I have been hearing that he have been, leaving those crazy thoughts behind. This is his moment for redemption. So hopefully, if he do things right during that show around WrestleCon. Hopefully, Impact Wrestling bring him back home. So, if you have managed to be a fan of Teddy Hart or listen to any of his stories or stuff like that, put it in the comment section, put it in the chat room, and we could talk about all things Teddy Hart. But I am happy. I might be a little bit worried, but the you know Impact Wrestling is let's talk things right. They have all the belts on Austin Aries, and he doesn't even have a contract. So if you are not, let's say, worried about that, why should you be worried about rehiring Teddy Hart? They are playing with around the edge, so they are playing dangerously. They are living dangerously, especially with the Austin Aries case, and actually propagating that on TV and on the dirt sheets. I think that was dumb as hell. However, I cannot understand why people should be worried about Teddy Hart and not Austin Aries. Fuck it. I'd rather give the guy a second chance on Impact Wrestling. So hopefully my wishes become reality, and this my man is able to get his house in order and come to Impact Wrestling. Who would you like to see him wrestle against? I would love to see Teddy Hart versus Moose for the big belt. Put that on my wish list. So let's talk about the third and last piece of news that I want to talk about. This comes to us from PW Insider. So apparently, for the foreseeable future, Josh Matthews and Sonjay Dutt are gonna be the ones doing commentary for Impact Wrestling, being the official commentary team of Impact Wrestling in 2018. So, as far as we know, the last episodes have not been recorded or anything like that. So they can still bait and switch and put Scott D'Amore on commentary, who, by the way, I heard a lot of people praising him during his performance during the whole Brace for Impact show that happened on Twitch. I haven't watched. I've been, an unloyal fan. Had things to do on a Friday night. Haven't watched that show, but hopefully by Sunday afternoon I will have watched the show and probably talk about it if I feel like it. I'm not gonna pretend that I can give you a review 110%. There's a lot of things happening. Who, by the way, I haven't talked about this on public. I'm gonna, only the people of the Hillcast know about that. But I landed a job with a indie promotion here in the island, and I'm gonna be kind of like the Josh Matthews of that promotion, doing the digital content and stuff like that. So that is also taking a chunk of my time. Add to that my regular job, National Guard, my band, this YouTube channel. There's a lot of stuff. I'm doing a lot of stuff. But so Impact Wrestling sometimes gets, pushed aside, and that's all good. But I'm still gonna watch the Brace for Impact. Probably do a review about it. I don't know how passionate would I feel about this whole thing. And by the way, the match that Emma had with Angelina Love did not get transmitted on the show. There were people complaining. I will have complained obviously about Angelina Love. Why? Because she gets the views. She's an over person with a core Impact Wrestling audience. As for Emma, she's a good talent, but I don't want her around Impact Wrestling. And she managed to get a job with Ring of Honor, so that's all good. Good. So I think this is it. I'm not gonna be here live for that long. Hopefully you did enjoy this first edition of the Impact Wrestling newscast. So that's it for me. Thank you a lot. Enjoy this thumbnail. There should be a subscribe button and a couple of my videos. So that's it. Bye and thanks for listening.